Hey there, this is Horner, and I just want to show you how to go through and create this page so that you can meet the new Canvas expectations. Really, the reasoning behind the expectations is so that kids can get on and actually see all of their classes for a week and see what's going on from Monday through Friday for those classes. Of course, those plans are tentative and the kids need to know that. So that states that right here under number 2. But by the first day of the school week, you should have this done and in Canvas so that kids can go through and figure out that they have 5 different tests on Friday. So hopefully that'll help a little bit too in terms of communication. I'm going to go back to my course. This is called Underwater Basket Weaving. It's a really popular course this year. And the first thing I need to do is I want to start this page. So I'm going to go over to Pages, and I'm going to click on it, and it said there are no pages created yet. So I am going to add one. I am ready to go now, and I'm just going to call this Underwater Basket Weaving UBW. If you want to do a new page for each week, that's up to you. That's a lot of pages to keep track of, and you'll have to do a new link for them each week. The other thing you can do is you can go through and maybe put a topic in up here and then have all the calendar days for that topic down below. Totally up to you. The one part that you want to make sure that you take a look at and that you use is this Canvas template. So this is the bare minimum. If you do more than this, that's awesome. So let's go ahead and use this Canvas template. I did email it to everybody. It'll also be on the Canvas professional development page that Alicia will go through later. So I'm in the Canvas template. I'm literally going to go in. I'm just going to highlight everything on this page. It has a day, it has every day of the week, Monday through Friday. I'm going to copy it, so either Control C or Edit Copy, and then I'm going to go back to my course. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in, and when I do that, it's going to put everything in that I need. And let's say that this course starts on the week of August the 13th. So we're going to put 8-13-2018. If you want to highlight it to make it so that it stands out better, that's absolutely fine. Notice we're just doing the bare minimum here, so I won't do too much. And this first day is 8-13 of 2018. The 3 headings you need to have for each day minimum are due today / bell ringer, agenda, resources, and homework. So this is essentially when kids come in, things that they need to know that are due that day that they might want to get out, and then the bell ringer part would be to turn in. Agenda resources would be essentially what you're doing in the class that day, and then maybe any resources that they need that you could have maybe even linked for them so that they could get to them. And then homework, and that will be due the following day. So let's go ahead and just create some stuff. So due today, it's the first day of the week, and let's say that they had some reading that they had to do last week, and so I'm going to just say have read pages 31 through 40. And their bell ringer is to turn in the reflection into, the bell ringer box. So this will kind of help you a little bit in that if you just have kids come in and log into Canvas, they can see the bell ringer and see exactly what they need to do. You wouldn't have to write that on the board or have it in a PowerPoint. You just have everything right here. Agenda and resources for that day. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look at basket plans, and then we're going to talk about the pool where we're going to be doing this underwater basket weaving. The last thing we're going to do is the basket activity. Okay, so they've got a little bit of homework that night. We're going to have them read pages 41 through 50. So the following day is that Tuesday. Need to go ahead and put in the date for that day. So this is 8/14 of 2018. Due today bell ringer is have read pages 41 through 50. Agenda resources, we are going to, since we looked at the basket plans, we're now going to use plans to start building the basket on dry land. So you always do that first before you go underneath the water. But we are also going to practice our scuba skills. So we're going to do that, and then your homework for this night, or their homework, is for them to study for your test on Friday. So we're going to go ahead and put in the stuff that we need to do for Wednesday. Wednesday is the 8/15 of 2018. We're just going to kind of skip through some of the stuff, so I'm just going to type in blah here, and blah here, and in homework blah here. We know Thursday is the 8-16, so we'll go ahead and put it in. And we've got the same type of stuff there, but here is why we want this due today here. Remember, we've got a quiz, so make sure you studied for your quiz, because we know that quiz is coming up. So probably on Wednesday, we know that on Tuesday we said study for your test on Friday, so we'll change it to test. Here we've got the same thing, study for your test on Friday. They might have also read some pages that day. Down here on this day, we'll say study for your test, which is tomorrow. And then on Friday, make sure you studied for your test. And then here is a bell ring. You might say put away all items except for your basket, and they're going to do some things with their basket during that test. And so here's a test, and then the homework on that last day is nothing, so no homework. All right, so I've gone in, I've pre-populated everything that I need for the week. Just ignore the day that's blank, and whoops, I'm going to go ahead and move up. So now the kids kind of know what's going on. I'm going to go down and I'm going to save this, but I'm also going to publish it. They'll only see this save and publish once. So once I save it, if I go back into it, I'm going to go back down to the bottom here, you'll notice it just says save because I've already published it. So once you do that, you're done. I've got everything I need for the week now. Kids can kind of see what's going on. They can go to the day and see when they've got things. So here I know that I've got a test. Pretty easy to do. I want to make this page the front page so that when kids need to go to it, they can. So I'm going to say use as front page. And then I also want to make sure that it comes up when I go to the home page, because right now when I click on home, it's not very useful. There's a create a new module and add existing content. So I'm going to go over to the side. I'm going to say choose home page, and I'm going to use the pages front page. So that's that underwater basket weaving page that I did. And I'll just go ahead and say save. So from here on, whenever I go to the underwater basket weaving course, first thing that will come up is the agenda for the week. And that just makes it a little bit easier for the kids to see. I also need to publish my home. So you'll see that it says unpublished right now, and I need to publish it. Earlier, we published that front page, which I realize is showing here, but it's also needing us to go through and say, publish the home tab. So that's kind of what this is. All right, so now that we've done that, we're going to go to the calendar so that kids can go to the calendar if they want to, and they can choose to check on any day. And so let's go down to the calendar. All right, now that we're in the calendar, what we need to do is make sure we can see everything that we want to have a calendar for. So, for example, I want to make sure I can see my AP Physics 1 class, so I'm going to click on that button, and it shows you both the assignments that I've assigned as well as the weekly agenda there. I'm going to move down. I'm going to unselect that one. Same thing with my AP Physics C. I could see that. You can see kind of club stuff. If you want to see those things, it'll show up, but you can turn those on and off. Remember, we're working on the underwater basket weaving course, so we're going to click on it, and there's nothing here. So next thing I'm going to do is click on a day. So I'm going to click on the 13th because that was the very first day of the week. And I want to make sure I have picked the calendar underwater basket weaving. If I don't pick the calendar, then it will not show up and I'll have a lot of trouble. So I'm going to say more options now. And once I see more options, I'm going to put UBW, and that way kids know that it's well, actually, let's type it underwater basket weaving. So now I've done that. So for kids, it'll show up as one item as underwater basket weaving. And I'm going to say click here for the week of assignments. If I move down to the bottom, it says Monday, August 13th, and I want to duplicate that. So I'm going to say duplicate, and I want it to do it every one day for an additional 4 days. That way it's going to do this for the entire week, and you'll only have to create one link. Now that I've done that, I need to make sure that I can highlight here. Going to make a, once I've got the highlight here, I'm going to come over to Pages. And remember, we created that home page for underwater basket weaving, UBW. So I'm going to click on it, and now people will be able to get to it. The other way to do it is to just go over and just click on it, and it'll automatically put it in. So you could do either one of those two things. So here, it's going to start on Monday, it's going to do Monday, and then it's going to also put in the same thing for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So I'm going to say create event, and the event is saved successfully. So let's check it, and now it pre-populates the entire week. If I click on any day, and then click on the link I created or on that other one, it will take me automatically to the page so I can see what's going on. So we've done that. The last thing that you'll want to do is, let's say that it's the following week. So we've gone all the way through, and we need to now go to the 20th. So I'm going to say Edit. I'm going to go in, and I want to create the same thing that I did for this week using the template. So I'm going to open the template again. I'm going to select everything again, and hit Control-C or copy it using Edit Copy. Go back in, and I'm going to paste this on top. Now, the reason I pasted it on top is it's the new week, 8-20-2018. If you want to put it below, you sure can. I just like it so that kids, when they get on, they immediately see this week, and then they can scroll down to see the previous week. Since I highlighted it, it stands out. The other thing you could do is you could just put some sort of character all the way across. You can also insert things, totally up to you, however you want to do it. You could put a picture in just to separate each week out. So then I would just do the same thing again, 8-20-2018, type in my due today, my bell ringer, and that type of thing, and go down and say save. And so when kids get on, they now see this new week. They can also see the week before. And if you continue to do this all the way through the trimester, kids can see exactly what you were doing from day one all the way through the very last day of that try. Only other thing I would need to do here is go back into the calendar, and I would need to create that same type of link for the 20th through the 24th. And that is the short and simple version of how to let your kids know what's going on.